In our modern world, we've built some incredibly complex stuff. But how do we actually control things that seem, well, uncontrollable? There's this hidden concept, this secret sauce, called the state of a system. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how it all works. I mean, think about it. It's a huge question, right? We've got self-driving cars, robotic arms doing surgery. We're literally surrounded by these super complex systems. So how in the world do we make sure they don't just work, but that they work with total precision and, are actually safe? Take a self-driving car, for instance. It's not just about turning the wheel, no way. It has to keep track of hundreds of different things at once, predict where they're all going, and then adjust its own path thousands of times every single second. It's just chaos. Or what about a robotic surgeon? The stakes there are literally life and death. Every single tiny movement, down to the micron, has to be perfectly controlled. There's zero room for error. And hey, this isn't just about little robots. This scales up big time. We're talking about the principles that keep an entire nation's power grid from completely collapsing, balancing electricity flow over thousands of miles in real time. So, how is any of this even possible? Well, the answer really lies in a huge shift in thinking. The old way we used to approach control, it just wasn't going to cut it. It couldn't handle the kind of complexity we're dealing with now. Okay, so the old school approach basically treated everything like a black box. You do something to it, an input, like pushing a button on a toaster, and something happens, an output. You get toast. Simple, right? For a toaster, sure, that works just fine. But for something like a self-driving car with all its thousands of interconnected parts, that black box idea just completely falls apart. You can't just hit a go button and, hope for the best. You need to know what's happening inside. So the real breakthrough, the game changer, was when we stopped just looking at the box from the outside. The idea was to find a way to see everything that's going on inside, and that's where this concept of state space comes in. It's like we took that black box and made it a glass box. And the key to this whole glass box idea is one single concept, the state. So what is it? A system state is basically a complete snapshot of it at a specific moment in time. Think of it like it's DNA. It's the set of variables, we call it a state vector, that contains all the information you could possibly need to describe the system's condition right then and there. And here's why that's so incredibly powerful. If you know the state, you literally know everything you need to know. You don't have to worry about its entire past history, because all of that is already baked into its present state. Suddenly, that mystery of the black box, it's just gone. Now, what makes this whole glass box approach so revolutionary is that it's not just some fuzzy, abstract idea. No, it comes with a really elegant, universal language, math, of course, that lets us describe pretty much any complex system you can think of. Okay, so you're going to see some equations here, but don't freak out. We're not going to be solving anything today. The whole point, the beauty of these things, is that they act like a universal blueprint. They give us a standard way to describe how a system's internal state changes over time, and how that internal state leads to the outputs that we can actually see and measure. Let's just break this down real quick. So X, that's our state, that complete snapshot of the system. U is the input. It's what we do to the system, like hitting the gas pedal. Y is the output. It's what we can actually see or measure, like the car's speed on the speedometer. And those other letters, the A, B, C, and D, that's just the system's own unique blueprint. They're the fixed rules that define how everything, the state, the inputs, the outputs, are all connected to each other. Okay, so now we have this incredible glass box, and we have its blueprint. This means we can finally ask the two, and I mean the two, most important questions in all of control engineering. First up, can we actually steer this thing where we want it to go? Do we have the right controls, the right levers to pull to get the system into any state we might desire? This is a concept called controllability. Officially, it's the ability to get from any initial state to any final state in a finite time. But really, it just boils down to this. Is the system actually under our command? And the second huge question is about our view into that glass box. Even if we can see inside, are we looking from the right angle? Can we figure out what's happening inside just by looking at what's coming out? In other words, do our sensors give us enough information to piece together the complete internal state? This is what we call observability. It's our ability to figure out the entire internal state just by observing the external outputs. Are we seeing the whole story, or are we flying blind? And look, these two ideas, controllability and observability, they aren't just for textbooks, no way. These are the fundamental principles that determine if our most advanced technologies are going to work safely and effectively out in the real world. Let's make this super concrete. Think about a fighter jet. It absolutely has to be both controllable and observable. The pilot needs total command, and their instruments have to give them a perfect picture of the plane's state. Okay, now think about a flight that gets canceled because of a big storm. The weather itself, that's an uncontrollable event, right? We can't stop the storm, but we can see its effects. The delays on the departure board, so the system is still observable. And finally, what if that fighter jet has a broken sensor? The jet itself is still controllable, the pilot can fly it, but without that crucial data, the system is not observable. The pilot is literally flying blind. So here's the bottom line, the crucial takeaway. Designing all these complex systems that run our world, from robotic surgeons to the entire power grid, it's all a massive balancing act. It's about making sure these systems are controllable so we can actually tell them what to do, and making sure they're observable so we actually know what's going on. Once you start thinking in terms of state, you start seeing it everywhere. It's a really powerful new way to look at the world. So I'll leave you with a question to chew on. Now that you get the concept, what's a complex system in your life that you'd want to understand by its state? Maybe it's your personal health, your finances, or something bigger like the economy. What would you want to know? Thanks for tuning in.